Hey guys, Datix here. In the next Dragon Age title, the Veilguard, you can not only develop intimate relationships, but meaningful friendships as well. We've come so far in gaming, yet actual choice-based friendships between our protagonist and our companions is rarer than a full-blown sexual relationship. What a world. Well, in this world, your platonic and intimate relationships will have a direct impact on your gameplay experience. According to Game Informer, who have recently played the starting acts of the game, every companion in the game has a relationship level related to Rook and the choices you make, and not even specifically about the companion, but in the world in general, what you say to companions or how you help or don't help them, and more all play into it. Every time you rank up a companion's relationship level, you unlock a skill point to specifically spend on that companion. Though companion skill trees pale in comparison to Rook's expansive skill tree, which features passive abilities, combat abilities and more, as well as paths to 3 unique class specializations, there's still some customization here referring to the companion skill tree. Similar to other Bioware titles, the companions you have with you react to the choices you make, and there'll be plenty of choices to make. You'll have 7 companions. You start with Lace Harding, then get Neve, Ballarat, Lucanus, Tash, Emmerich, and Davrin. If you want to know more about them, check out my companion video which goes into more detail. They each have their own sort of loyalty missions if you want to compare to Mass Effect, but unlike previous titles, these will actually play into the Golden Path rather than just be their own separate standalone adventure, like finding Rexy's family armor or finding Jacob's rapist father. So these loyalty missions help raise their relationship with you, but so do the choices you make in the world, how you talk to NPCs, and more. What is new though is how Veilguard is doubling down on relationship building and making it so you actually get skill points for raising their relationship with you. This means that if you want to use a particular companion skill and you haven't unlocked it yet in their skill tree, maybe start being nicer to them, or more accurately, pretending to share their values. In the case of Lucanus, for example, pretending to care about assassinating targets, though if you actually care about assassinations, check this out. I'm on my way to assassinate my bank account. Magic the Gathering has stealthily crossed over with Assassin's Creed to bring you a brand new gorgeous set that celebrates all the games. This is also the perfect time to get into Magic as it introduces a starter kit that comes with 2 complete decks, ready for you to jump right into the haystack and hit the ground free running with your first game. There's beautiful art for you to collect across all your favorites, including Edward Kenway, which you can use to murder your competition. Alright, time for me to make my escape. I'm back! Moving on, each companion has access to 5 abilities, but you can only take 3 into combat. Thus, it's important to strategize which abilities to spend skill points on and how those abilities can synergize with your current build on the battlefield. Though I couldn't confirm, Dragon Age series art director Matt Rhodes hints at companion issues, problems, and personal quests that will play into this relationship level and how a companion interacts with Rook. Ballarat, for example, has her own story arc that runs parallel to and informs the story path you're on. Rhodes tells me while I watched the game director play through a linear story-driven mission in the Alathan Forest where Rook is searching for Ballarat. Relationships are key, not only for romance, but friendships. We wanted to lean into not just the relationships the characters have with you, but the friendships they have with each other. It's a found family, and at the end of the day, they need to trust that they all have each other's back. There's a lot to unpack there, but to begin with, each companion has access to 5 abilities in their relationship skill tree, and you can only take 3 into combat with you, so you'll be leaving 2 behind. You can also equip them with weapons that provide different skills and attacks, as well as items for others. I go through that in my last video, but there are more skills than meets the eye. For example, you can change an ice spell to fire. Now, it's mentioned that relationships are key for not only romance, but friendships. So for those like me who have zero interest in a romance with these characters, we can still get to know them and develop a bond without jeopardizing their skill growth. In Inquisition, Solus and the Inquisitor could have a tight bromance by the end of Trespasser, so I hope there's more of that. But if you are into romance, fret not, Bioware fans, romance is a key part of relationships in the game, Bush says, noting some of the romances will get quite spicy. However, not all of them will, as each romance has a very different flavor, according to Bush. Some characters are straight to the point, while others are more awkward, having never been in a relationship before. You learn who these characters are and how their romances unfold, she says. She likens romantic and platonic relationships to another way to level up your companions. It's not just experience and skill points that determine Rook's standing with companions, but diegetic conversations too. So yes, expect full nudity and sex scenes, though the character models and art styles don't lean into realism enough for me to take this seriously, and I imagine many will be giggling at these moments more than immersing themselves into it. Though for those who want to, you can expect different, almost difficulty levels of intimacy between different characters. Some will be easy mode, and some may require more work. I'll leave it up to you in the comments to speculate who will take groundwork and who'll give it up quicker than Jack when you come onto her Renegade style. But wait, there's more. Bioware has already revealed that every companion in Veilguard is pansexual, notably different from the community-dubbed player-sexual approach to some games, which sees NPCs adjust romantic and sexual interests based on the player rather than their own sense of sexuality. As pansexual companions, they're attracted to people of any gender, or regardless of gender. There's a critical distinction because in Veilguard, your companions aren't just going to vie for your affection, they may take attraction to other companions. Giving one companion the cold shoulder might nudge them into the warm shoulder of someone else on the team. Boosh says the companions can form romances with each other, although I'm unable to confirm if that means locking Rook out of forming a romance with them. Alright, let me get comfortable now. I personally don't like that everyone is pansexual. It feels less about inclusion and more about just being a lazy way to explain not giving these characters a preference. One, pansexual? Yeah, why not? Two, sure, but all of them? I would have much preferred the companions be player sexual rather than their attractions are different every playthrough. I would find it immersion breaking seeing every single character on the team crawling all over each other like hamsters in a cage just because I turned them down. Further making me stay away from romances because if I choose one, then someone on the team is missing out. Let's say Ballora would normally hook up with Lucanus if we don't romance her. Well, if I do romance her, now poor Lucanus is the only one not getting laid on the team. How is that fair to my man? I could be taking the love of his life away just because I'm dripping with such raw sexual energy, it's impossible for Ballora to resist. But on the other hand, if this is done very well, I'll eat my words. It's nice that these characters develop relationships without you, but I'm afraid it'll be a little too hard to write properly. So let me know below what you think. Game Informer continues, I saw nothing resembling romance in my very early hours of the game, however I did see the romantically inclined emotional response in Rook's dialogue choices at times, which led to my Rook flirting with Ice Mage and private detective companion Neve Gallus. Bush says this is the option to flirt and push platonic relationships into romantic territory, although Rook's flirtatious efforts aren't always reciprocated. But it's not to say you should ignore other options. I saw dialogue choices resembling friendly, snarky, and direct too, and I can see how those different flavors of dialogue likely mix and mingle into Rook's relationships with companions. It's still a mostly mysterious system to me, but as Veilguard is due out this fall, I don't have to wait long to learn more, and neither do you. So Dragon Age leans more into the Andromeda and Inquisition style of responses, doing away with the moral compass choices of other titles. I personally think the way it's handled in Andromeda had you feeling like the different tones of responses had no impact on anything. Because they didn't. Hopefully in Veilguard, because companions actually react to the tones, it will feel like a more complete system. If someone appreciates humor and lightheartedness, then selecting those responses around them should increase their friendship with you. Though if you want an obvious push onto the bone train, the option should be obvious.
Would you like to ride the bone train, miss?
So to wrap up, relationships with your companions, your team of 7, develop as you play the game. Increasing if you say the right things, help them out, or I'm guessing by buying them gifts, though we'll have to wait and see if that's included. Increasing their relationship level lets you explore their skill tree, and if you want, explore inside of them. All of the 7 are romanceable by any character you make, though you can develop a close platonic bond if all you want is a friendship. They have 5 skills to unlock, though plenty more ways to customize. Each of the 5 skills, like Ballora's Fade Bolt, all seem to have some way to combo, so expect the choice of 3 to bring with you on each companion to be based around what works well with your character. This will apparently be the most companion-focused Dragon Age yet, so expect plenty of banter and a lot of development. So what do you think? More or less excited? Let me know below. Also be sure to check out the new Assassin's Creed set. I want more people playing Magic the Gathering so I can nerdily gossip. So for everything RPG, you're in the right place. Ciao friends.